Hi there, it's SharRon Jamison, the CEO and founder of the Jamison Group, and I hope that you can see me. Had some technical difficulties with my computer, but a couple of days ago I posted some information about one of my clients who had a situation where one of her mentors, somebody that she trusted, stole her work and plagiarized her work. And my client was just not only angry but hurt. Hey Laura, thanks so much for joining me and Trina. And so what I did was I listed 13 ways to help you and help me identify ways to determine people who are thieves, idea thieves. Hey Trina, hey Dee. And so I listed those 13 ways because I think it's important for us to be able to understand who we need to work with, because the truth is we do need mentors, right? We all need to be groomed for greatness. We all have to be prepared and positioned to handle power. But what I want to do today, since 13 seems to be a long list of traits to remember, I wanted to give you four key things or areas to evaluate to help you identify if your mentor is a thief. If your mentor is a thief, because you do need people. You can never be successful by yourself. But what you don't want to do is to work with the wrong types of people and wound up, instead of being groomed for greatness, that you are being stolen from in ways that break your heart. So I want you to write down, if you will, the acronym PEST, P-E-S-T, PEST. I want you to write that word down, because then we're going to talk about what are the 4 ways to help us identify if a person is a potential idea thief and if it should be a person that you should work with. So the acronym is PEST. And if you have any friends that are currently working with coaches and consultants and mentors, please share this video, because I know it will help them be better discerners of people who they employ. So the P stands for, when you're looking for a mentor, you want to look to see how they live their principles. What first is principles? Why? Because success is spiritual. And so often when we are picking our mentors, sometimes we get so intoxicated and so mesmerized and so impressed by their public personas. We get so mesmerized by their popularity. We get so mesmerized by their promise of profits that we don't look and pay attention to how they live their private principles. Private principles like, do they give other people credit? Do they share? Do they lie? Do they steal? Are they empathetic? Are they compassionate? So the first P we need to make sure we are working with, to ask ourselves, does the person follow good spiritual principles? We have to look beyond public persona, look beyond their public profits, their public personality, and ask ourselves, do they live private spiritual principles? Because success is spiritual. Hey Karen, thanks Dee for making notes. The E stands for entitlement and envy. Entitlement and envy. When we are deciding to hire a mentor, we want to look for those 2 things. Entitlement says that they feel like they deserve more than they are receiving. And the other envy stands that they feel like they are desirous of more than they are receiving. Anybody who feels more entitled, more deserving, or envious, more desirous of things that are yours, are usually saboteurs. We need to look at people and ask ourselves, when we are having conversations with people and we start ascending, we need to look at, are our mentors happy for us? Are our mentors celebrating us? Are our mentors giving us support? But we also have to remember that climbing causes casualties. I want to say that again. Climbing causes casualties. Some of the people who work with you will not be able to handle your ascension, and they will feel so entitled to your success. They will feel that they trained you, that they want recognition. They will feel envious of you if you start surpassing them. So I want you to really think about your mentors, because they're just people, right? And look at them just as people. And when they stop supporting you and celebrating you and challenging you and encouraging you, I want you to know that's an indication that they feel entitled, more deserving of you than you are deserving, are envious, more desirous of you. Now, here's the thing. People can have what you want, but they should not want what you have. I'm going to say that again. It is okay for people to want what you have, but not want what you want, but not want what you have. So if somebody wants what you have, what is yours in your home, your heart, or in your hand, that's an indication that they're inclined to sabotage you. So we want to make sure that we look at people who have a high sense of entitlement or a high sense of envy, because those are people who are more prone to steal from you. Hey, Miss Clay. The S stands for slighted. Slighted. That means that when you're working with mentors who feel that they have been snubbed, that they have been invisible, that they have not been celebrated or applause or received applause or accolades that they feel that they deserve, they will do anything they can to steal from you, to take your power and your ideas. Now, there's a lot of times people feel slighted. There's a lot of times when people feel like they missed their turn to be great. But what seems to happen sometimes, they feel slighted because they have not done the work that they're telling you to do. I have worked with many mentors, some good, some bad. But sometimes the mentors who are telling me to take and do different strategies have not done them themselves. And sometimes the success that they profess and they promote is the success that they have never had. So we want to make sure that when we are thinking about who we need to work with, we want to make sure that when we start getting more successful than our mentors expect us to get, that they might feel slighted by our success. They might feel like we are taking attention from them, that we are not deserving. And if they do that, those are people who will feel slighted, and people who feel slighted are dangerous people. People who feel like they are missing an opportunity because of you, or that you are taking something from them. People who live their life in a life of scarcity and not abundance will feel slighted when you start having results. And those are the people that you need to be leery of. And when you start being success, understand that they might not be able to tolerate your ascension or your elevation. In fact, they might have intimidation due to your elevation. So you want to be mindful of that, because if not, your mentors could be the ones who start stealing your ideas and stealing your innovation and your novel ways of being in the world. Hey, Lynn, the T stands for torment. When you work with mentors who have not done their own emotional healing, and they start to be tormented by their own doubt. They start to be tormented by their own sense of inadequacy, their own sense of unworthiness, their own sense of insecurity. And insecure people are dangerous people. Insecure people are desperate people, and they will do anything they can to gain attention, to be seen, to be heard, and to be known. So I want you to write this down. Hey, Sandra, I want you to write this down. People who don't address their weakness become wicked. Our weakness and our woundedness produces wickedness. I'm going to say that again. Our woundedness, our unaddressed woundedness, and our wickedness, our woundedness and our weakness produces wickedness. Because some people are not really wicked, but because they have not addressed their own internal demons, their own intestinal, visceral hurt, they hurt others. And so we want to make sure that we are really clear that we work with people who not only have business success, but they have emotional and spiritual success. We want to have people who have charisma, but also character. We want people who are grounded in who they are, who have that internal fortitude and that internal fitness, that internal infrastructure for success. If people don't have that internal infrastructure, they don't deal well with their success, and they will not deal well with yours. I want you to remember, when people have not done their internal work, they are tormented by their own demons, and people who are tormented will torment you. People who are tormented will taint you. They are toxic people, and they will steal from you. They will do anything they need to do to get the affirmation and the applause and the acceptance and the validation that they crave. They have an insatiable desire to be seen. And if they don't handle their torment, they will again start to hurt you. Woundedness, unaddressed weakness results in wickedness. We have to work on our wounds and work on our weakness. If not, we will be tempted to do some low down, evil, wicked things. Hey, Tiffany. So I want to say again, I want you to think about your mentors that you are working with. I want you to pay close attention. I want you to use discernment. Again, success is spiritual. Anytime there is an exchange of energy and effort, that is spiritual energy. So I want you to remember again, watch the P.E.S.T. P. Make sure you pay attention and you take your time to look beyond somebody's public persona and see how they live their private principles. Don't be so mesmerized and so enamored and so intoxicated and so infatuated with their popularity and their profits and their personalities that you miss how they treat people, how they talk about people, and how they work well with people. Look at their principles. A person who has no principles has no foundation to treat you well. 2, make sure that those people that you work with don't have a sense of entitlement or envy. Remember, people who feel entitled feel overly deserving. People who feel envious feel overly desirous. And anytime a person feels exceptionally entitled or envious, they are potential thieves waiting to steal your ideas, waiting to steal your influence, and as a result, waiting to steal your income. So the E is for entitlement and envy. The S is for be careful when you work with mentors who feel slighted. Remember, there's so many people. Hey, Aaron and Derek. There's so many people, if you're working with mentors, who have this insatiable desire to be seen, heard, and known. People who feel that they have been ignored. People who feel like they have missed their turn. People who feel like they are invisible and have not received the recognition that they feel like they deserve. They feel slighted. They will not be able to handle your success. They will not be able to handle your ascension. So I want you to be mindful of people who feel slighted, because people who feel slighted by your success will sabotage your success. And then the T stands for, again, torment. If people have not handled their emotional and spiritual issues, they are toxic and they will taint your own success. Remember, if people feel inadequate, or if they feel unworthy, if they feel disqualified, if they feel insecure, those are people who you should not hire for mentors, because their lack of a spiritual foundation will affect your ability to be fruitful. Remember, we all need to be groomed for success. We all need people in our life to give us advice. We never become our best selves by ourselves. Hey, Vivian and Redina. But what we don't want to do is to hire mentors who don't have the maturity and the spiritual fortitude to share with you and to teach you and to groom you from a place of respect and honor and compassion. Remember, if people have not done their own work and they feel threatened by you, and if they feel intimidated by you, they will steal from you. And then they will steal from you and plagiarize from you and then berate you publicly and try to gossip about you publicly because really they're really jealous of you and they feel like they don't have the courage nor the competence nor the confidence to do what you are doing in the world. Hey, Crystal and Shishi. So remember the P.E.S.T. and make sure if people have not done their own emotional work, you don't want to hire them. You don't care if somebody is a public success, if they are a private failure. A person who's a private failure will be a dictator, they will be a thief, they will be a tyrant, and they will look over something that you create because they crave the attention of the crowd. And anytime somebody has an insatiable desire to be known, they will unfortunately hurt you, sabotage you, and steal from you. So I hope this is helpful. Remember to pick your mentors based not only on their ability, but their character. Because competence without character means nothing. You don't care if somebody is smart, if they're selfish. You don't care if somebody is talented, if they're toxic. You don't care if somebody is analytical, if they are in agony. You don't care if somebody is innovative, if they're easily intimidated. You don't care if somebody is financially wealthy, if they're a spiritual wreck. We want to make sure that we don't worry about who might be financially sound if they are spiritually fatal. Yeah, so I hope this helps. Thanks so much for joining me. And also I want to invite you, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing a Dare to Be Me free masterclass, 3 masterclasses, where I'm going to be providing some secrets on how to follow your own conscience and not the crowd, so that you can break some rules in your life and so that you can redefine and restructure and reframe your life so that you can win being you. Because it's time for you to dare to soar higher. It's time to be you, live like you, do you, and love you so that you can be the very best that you can be. So thanks so much for joining me this evening. Let's dare to soar higher. And if you have any more questions, please let me know. And thanks so much for joining me this evening. I so celebrate and I'm so grateful for your time. Blessings. Let's dare to soar higher.